Hey everybody, it's Casual Boops coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be covering the brand new Japanese tank destroyer premium, the Kari. And right off the bat, I'm going to say, do I think the tank is good? It's fine. It's good. I like. It's not brokenly overpowered. I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine. I kind of enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be the next BZ 176, but I think it's a fine tank to play. I think they did a pretty good job, balance wise, on this one. It's pretty solid, but it's not like you know, a BZ 176. Anyways, but we're going to talk about that. I've got I'm going to go over the stats. I've got two different games for you if you want to skip to all that. I'm also going to talk about the event itself. We're going to do that right now. Feel free to skip to the part that you want to see. Let's get into it. Okay, so the event itself, the Shamrock Days thing, my understanding of this, basically, there's some stuff where you flip over some tiles and get some free stuff, and you get a training guide and whatever. So this is neat. Just do that, and I don't even think you have to buy anything, and you just get some free stuff. That's neat. On the other side there's more loot boxes. Everybody wanted more loot boxes. This is what happens when Wargaming has a loot box event and it goes really well. They're gonna do more of them. So that must have this is what they're doing now. It's been a little while since they've introduced a tank just normally, right? They don't just sell things anymore. They've got to loot box it out, or they've got to put it in an auction or something like that. And this is just what that is. So if you like this style of monetization, then buy some boxes. And if you don't, and you want to send a message that this is not how you want to see the game go, then don't buy any boxes. And this will be how Wargaming decides whether to keep doing this in the future. Because is it True Voodoo actually said this? True Voodoo said this. Is how to have a 2% chance at buying a premium tank that you might not want in a limited time event that happens a couple times a year. which is pretty on point. Like, in the boxes are going to be the brand new tank, right? The Kari. And I assume that they're going to put this on sale again in the future. But honestly, they've broken with that trend a bit too, right? The last time that they sold the Gonzalo was last August, and they haven't sold it ever since. It's never been for sale in a conventional way. Really, really annoying. But having said that, I do think the Gonzalo is actually a pretty solid tank. It's kind of fun. I like it. I just hate how they sold it the first time, and I hate how that's in a loot box. They still haven't just sold it legitimately, just straight up anymore. So the Gonzalo, I actually like. The ML 1951 is basically an ML1 tech tree, just straight up copy, which I don't really like because the turret armor is not very good, and the standard pen is trash. There's also the new Forest Spirit, which is an SU-130 PM copy. And again, they used to just have skins that they would sell for 2,500 gold, but then, all right, it actually started with new tanks, right? The Defender and the 252U. Those were two new tanks. But then they figured out that they could just make it a skin that you could remove. Well, then they figured out after that if we go back to having just totally separate tanks, we can sell that for another 40 bucks. Oh my God. So here we are, we're doing this again. This is the same as the Mars and everything else, and I think it's stupid. This could just be a skin, but instead it's a whole new tank because they can sell for more money. So again, decide if you want to support that. Everybody that bought a Mars, feel good about that, because they're going to continue, right? So this is that. Alt Proto is fairly new. The Kirovets 1, this was only available so far, has only been available in a stupid caravan event. I don't even have this because I refuse to participate in the shitty caravan event thing, where you had to pay 7,500 gold or 75,000 gold to roll the dice to see if you'd have the ability to buy the Kirovets for whatever it was, 20 million credits. What a shitty resource sink. I didn't like it. I didn't participate. I didn't encourage anyone else to do it either. Tank is fine. I just hate their monetization, right? It's always a squeeze. The Chieftain T95 is not the tier 10 that you're hoping it is. It is the tier 8 medium tank that is mediocre at best. The turret armor is solid. It's got 10 degrees of gun depression, but it's got this massive cupola on the top that's very weak. And it's kind of slow, and it only does 240 alpha. So imagine like a Renegade that's just worse in every single way. In every way that there is. So that's not a good tank. 59 Patent is not very good either for a lot of the same reasons. It's got this massive cupola and stuff. It is better than the Chieftain T95, but it's just still not great because it's hard to work around this massive cupola. Turtle, I want to like. It's just too freaking slow. So, and then there's these assorted 2D styles. My understanding is that these boxes are fairly cheap, so maybe that changes things for some of you, right? I personally have so many skins. I have more skins than tanks. So do I need more skins? Not really, but these BIA crew members and crew books and stuff. So like, should you buy this? I guess it's up to you, right? I'm not going to say you should. Is this good value is the question. And only you can decide that, right? For me, the only tanks in here that I don't have are the two new ones, right? Because this Forest Spirit isn't really a new tank, but the Kari and the Forest Spirit and the Kirovet. So I'm guaranteed after 50 boxes, they've got the pity mechanic, just like they do in the Holiday Ops boxes. Where is that? It's in here somewhere. After 50 boxes, you're gonna get one of the tanks for guaranteed. And if you have a tank already, you won't get duplicates until you've already got everything. So there's it. So there it is. But is it worth? There's no gold in these boxes straight up. I think if you don't have a bunch of this stuff and you want boosters and premium time and whatever, then maybe you can make an argument that this is good value. Personally, I have a lot of crew. I don't need more 5x missions. I have 8,000 boosters and 800 days of premium time and 60 million credits. I don't need credits. I don't need half of this stuff. I don't want skins, and I don't really care for a Forest Spirit. So like for me as a player, this would not be attractive, right? I would just maybe I would like to have a Kari. If I wasn't a CC, yes, I would probably like to have a Kari, but I don't want to have to gamble on it. I just want to buy it. Just let me buy it. Oh my God. So anyways, that's that. I will say one of the things that's in here also is this Nightfall 2D style, which is annoying because that was previously only available in Clan Wars as a reward. And you can even see they're lazy. They're so lazy, in fact, that they haven't even removed the Clan Wars badge from the side of the skin. So if you worked your butt off in Clan Wars and you got the Nightfall skin, great, good for you. And now everybody else that wants to buy this also can have that. I don't really care. I know there are people that care. It's a little annoying that they couldn't even be bothered to remove the skin, the little badge thing. So anyways, this is straight up a copy. I'll get into the actual tank stats here, but one thing that is kind of neat, I guess, is the little light uppy parts of the Forest Spirit. As you can see, it's kind of neat, I guess. I'm just gonna look at it, frankly. Just gonna look at it. Come on. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. I mean, that's neat, I guess. That would be a really good 3D skin. Wargaming. 2,500 gold sounds great, I guess. Even that's like, what is that, 10 bucks? But is it worth this for a whole nother tank? Why is this a whole nother tank? I mean, it's hypothetical because they can sell it for more, because it's for more. Anyways, so let's get into the tank stats and we'll talk about that. Okay, so tank stat wise, we're going to compare this to the JPanther 2, the JagdPanther 2, which if you don't know what that is, it used to be on the tech tree. It's a German tier 8 tank destroyer. And then when they shuffled things around, they took that out of the tech tree. It is a collector vehicle. If you have any tier 8 German tech tree tank researched, you can go and buy the JPanther 2 and go play it. You need to stick a crew in it. It's not a premium tank. And it's not a reward tank. Doesn't earn extra anything. It's just a collector vehicle. So the Wargaming doesn't have to worry about balancing things anymore, is my guess. But basically, it's a Panther chassis, so it's fairly quick, and it's got this big, stupid 12.8 centimeter gun. And I, for the longest time, really liked the tank, but it's kind of fallen. It's gotten a lot harder to play. And there's some reasons that I don't play it anymore. I don't have the tank anymore, but in a lot of ways, the gun is fantastic. We'll say it like that. So when you compare it to the Kari, they are in a lot of ways very similar. Like the Kari is a little bit slower, has a little bit better armor. There's a better alpha, but worse DPM. They play kind of similar roles, right? Where you don't really have great reliable armor in either one. But anyways, we'll get into it here. You can see for yourself. The DPM is lower, the standard pen is higher, the alpha is almost the same, and you do notice this DPM hit, right? You definitely need to sit and wait, and you'll see that in the replays. Wait for your gun to reload. The gun was fairly well behaved for me, and the JPanther 2, the gun is also very good, right? It's one of those things where the JPanther 2 is kind of irritating because there's no camo and there's no armor. but the gun is great. And in this case, yeah, the Kari is about the same, where you got your 7 degrees of gun depression. It's just a little bit better in just about every way. I will say the gun traverse being from negative 10 to each side to 12 to each side, the traverse felt very comfortable. 12 felt like, and you'll see again in this replay, felt like I didn't have to constantly remove my hull, which was very nice. So I felt like the gun was very comfy. And the reverse speed, or sorry, the mobility was okay, right? And you'll see this in the gameplay. The first one I have on mines, it's just more shooting, and just you can see, I guess, how the gun feels. But there's not a lot of moving, right? It's just that's what mines is. So I have another game where it's not as good of a result, but there's a lot more moving around, so you can see what the mobility is like. But here on the stat wise, the biggest thing is like the power to weight is pretty good. But the ground resistances offset that, and the biggest thing is the forward speed is capped at 40, right? The JPanther 2 has the Panther chassis, and so it's actually fairly peppy, right? And it turns really fast, right? The effective traverse is fairly quick, and so does this one. The Kari is also effective traverse is very good, and I'll show you a clip here in just a second about proving how that feels. Armor-wise, it's you know. You'll see. We'll go over the armor just a little bit. Camo is a little bit better, but still not great. I mean, it's like decent, where if you're at the back behind a bush, you probably won't get spotted, but once you shoot, you'll probably get spotted, right? So it's not what I would call stealthy, but it's fine. I will say the 360 view range in the JPanther 2 doesn't feel necessary. That doesn't. This shouldn't be what it is. The 380 that the Kari has feels fine. I can with a good crew and food, I can get that out to where it needs to be. You felt like you had to work pretty hard to get out of the hole that is 360 view range. You really have to work at it. And again, this is just one of those reasons. The JPanther is from a time in World of Tanks where tanks were just not as good, and so because of that, it's just not as good. The mobility is better, I'm pretty sure, in a JPanther 2, but in every other way, the tank is not as good. I think if the JPanther 2 were out in 2023, you would see this having 380 view range just like that. I mean, a lot of these things would be better. But anyways, so that's the comparison, and it feels similar to a JPanther 2. But yeah, let's get into the armor. Okay, so talking about the armor, this does look like a trash, but as we've already discussed, or as you know, we've already said, this is the tank shooting itself, and the ammo is fairly good, right? 252 standard pen and 298 premium pen with a premium AP round is actually very good. The AP is better. It's still fast shell velocity, but the AP round means you don't have the auto bounce problems that the APCR rounds will normally have. And again, just for reference, the 122 TM and the T77 are both tanks that have a 299 or 300 millimeter pen heat round on the premium round. And because of that, I feel like they're gimped. They're gimped super hard to not make them too good. And the Kari it has that. I mean, I guess it's a tank destroyer, so they're supposed to have good guns, I guess. But anyways, the point is, this is very good. And so if you compare this, if you have something shooting itself, like I don't know, like a Centurion shooting this thing, and the answer is basically when you're at a tier 6 is going to have a hard time, right? The lower plate is weak. We'll just show you. We don't have to guess. We can just show you. A tier 6 is going to have a really bad time because it's a tier 8, right? This is what you see. The lower plate is weak. And this can be penned by a lot of HE rounds and stuff, so you have to watch out for this. But lower plate's weak either way. If this thing tries to side scrape, you're going to have a really bad time because it's got these angled shoulders that flatten out when you side scrape. So never ever side scrape in this thing. And if somebody ever does against you, you just shoot them right here. It's great. But I will say I appreciate this. If it's hull down against you, if you're a tier 6 and you see this thing hull down, you fuck off. You shouldn't be engaging this thing anyways. That's just what the answer is. But if you're willing to tap 2, you might get lucky on the upper hull, but not the superstructure. Now, having said that, we go back to tier 8 medium tanks. Same tier tanks shooting standard rounds. The hull is cheese. Again, you're side scraping and it's cheese. The upper casement here, this upper part, if you're shooting standard rounds, is about a 50-50 depending on how things angle. You can't really angle this because if you do, you flatten out the top shoulders, right? You see how this is angled too? So if you flatten that out because you're trying to over angle the top, it's just not going to work. And if somebody's tapping 2, if tier 8 shooting premium, you're going to go through this thing. So the armor, long story short, the armor can hold up against low tiers. And some high tiers, if they're not shooting gold, the upper plate can be, or the upper casement can be okay. But in every other circumstance, the armor is not good. So that's basically it. And tier 8s, tier 9s and 10s are just going to shit all over you. You basically just don't have armor. But that's okay, because you're a big gun. You have a big gun, you're going to be in the bushes. So uh, let's get into equipment and consumables. So equipment and consumables and field mods. It's always this one. It's always this one. It's always this one. This one's debatable depending on whether you have a good crew. So we have this. If you have a good crew like me and you run food like me, and you do these things, you're almost at that anyways. So you're almost at 445 view range. This is pretty solid. So there are a few ways that you could run this, and one of the ways is like this and like this. And you could even from here, it's all right. Do you want this, or do you could make the argument for turbo. I liked the turbo because this top speed felt really low to me, or felt like it was holding me back. I also ended up doing a pink turbo because it was a press account, and why not? And I also ended up managing to do this. This is how I ran it, and I liked it. Having that extra, like, you'll see what the gun feels like. It feels pretty solid most of the time, but occasionally the gun is going to just go wherever it wants. So I appreciate guns doing what they're told a little more. So if you are not quite as crazy about that as I am, then I could definitely see just dropping this for vents. And then the added bonus there is you get above 445 view range. So that's really good. Like I said, the camo is 32% stationary when you're not shooting, which is okay, but not great, right? So that's what I mean to say. I don't think you would want to build this thing out for camo unless you have a specific like Prokhorovka loadout. So that's how I would run this. So anyways, let's get into the replay. Okay, so first things first, I want to show you this. I was on a game. I was in a game, and this is just a clip here. There was a light tank, 730 hit points, and I knew that if we didn't kill this guy, he was going to kill us. And so I ran in there, and I had an HE round loaded, and I penned him for 730. Lol, feels good. And so that's something that you can do. I did high roll. It not supposed to hit for that much, but that's the penetration is like 90, which is fine, right? And anyways, yeah, so we're going to skip forward here. What I really wanted to show about this was, okay, I'm about to take a really bad shot. Because I'm a bad player, and then I get run in on by this Kampfpanzer, and oh shit, if he had showed up when I still had a shot loaded, this would have been my engagement. And then somebody tags him, that's perfect, and I managed to traverse fast enough that he can't circle me. This is what I wanted to show. That is a Kampfpanzer. Those are very maneuverable tanks. I'm going to lose the DPM fight because he's just got really good DPM. But the point is, as you saw, he tried to circle around me and put himself behind me, and he couldn't because the tank traverses that fast. So it's not, I would say it's not a fast tank, but it doesn't feel sluggish because it can traverse very quickly. Especially because this one had the turbo on it and stuff. So anyways, I wanted to use that to just as a case study for like, it doesn't feel bad mobility wise, but I still wouldn't call it a fast tank. So, all right, so we're starting out playing on mines. It's a tier 10 game with no artillery. Yeah, and we're at tier 8, so I'm a tank destroyer. At this point, I don't want to be in the front because my armor already is kind of questionable. And so I'm going to go back by one of these bushes, by one of these rocks, and do what tank destroyers do on mines, which is shoot stuff, basically for free. And so this game won't definitely show a lot of the capabilities. I could have probably shot there, but I wanted to wait for my shot. Because the reload is so bad, the reload is long, so I definitely wanted to make sure that each of my shots penned and like was good. So I held it for that one, and I'm just really happy with how that went. And, I was hoping to see a little more. I was hoping to see a side of a turret there, but unlucky. And now this Skoda does this, and he's tracked again. Oh my god, it's perfect. Wait. Oh my god, trolled hard. And that does happen. This is what happens. That was within the aiming reticle, and that's just how the game is. Felt kind of bad, but this is part of the reason I wanted to show this game is because not every game is it going to go exactly where you want it to go. So we're back here. I'm looking at the top of the hill because I know they're going to be up there, and I don't want to. I can't see through the bushes, which means after I shoot, the bushes will still be there. I still should get camo. I shouldn't be spotted, even after I shoot. So we're gonna wait, take our shot. 450 or 491. It's a meaty gun. It feels good. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the tank is fine. I don't think the tank is overpowered because it doesn't have that good of armor, and it's going to be hard to play for that reason. But it's basically a premium version of a Japanese version of a JPanther 2, and except slightly better. And I almost like the JPanther 2 enough to just keep it and play it and have a crew for it. So having it, you know, if I think the JPanther, that was just a bad shot by me, frankly. Having a premium version of a JPanther 2 that's a little bit better, I'm down for it. I'm here. So wait. Oh, I just barely got the shot on the Maushin for 522. And again, each of these shots just feels really impactful, right? Hitting for 390 feels a lot worse than hitting for 490. And in this case 500. So I'm down. And whoop, all right, we managed to put a blind shot into the side of the turret of the Maushin, and I'm surprised they're not spotted. And let's just wait and see what's going on here. So the T-95, they're kind of doing this poorly because I don't know if the T-95 realizes I'm here. I have a SPTK, I have a pixel of it, but I'm just not... I want to wait for my shot on this one. And oh, there it is. Speak of the devil. Udez presents himself, and I did get spotted for that, but luckily they got these handy-dandy bushes, and it's handy rock, so I could sit here and wait. And you can see basically what I've been doing in this game is just sitting and waiting for people to drive into my gun. And so not a very impressive display of like, look at how good I am at this game, but... And it also doesn't really showcase the mobility of the tank, although you can kind of see me scurrying around this rock. But, oh my god. This is one of the reasons I wanted to show this game, is because sometimes this is going to happen to you. Sometimes it is just not going to go where you want it to go. And so this is just something you've got to be aware of and be okay with. And I have an even 90 friend. So I'm going to tap 3. I'm going to load my HE round. And the Barask is going to get in here and hopefully not die. He's going to shoot him once. And he missed his second one, but I think he missed his second one. Anyways, we went in there and cleaned it up. And now we're going to go back to our original spot. See what we can't do. It's almost time to drive in there, right? We got 3,000 damage plus that... Schwack drove off a cliff. Good job, buddy. We had that blind kill on the Maushin for however many hit points, but otherwise we got 3,000 damage. A fairly solid game. And they had a pretty commanding... It was not looking good. But the team didn't... their team pushed in like donkeys. And so now they've they're in the middle of losing this. We're up 9-5. We got 3,000 damage. Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. And again, this is part of the reason I wanted to show this game. So that you don't think I'm biased. I'm not a shill. I'm going to show you sometimes the not so great games. But look at how fast it reverses. It's very peppy. It feels... it's hard to say. It feels like it's got a pretty good power to weight. Wait for it. All right. RNG giveth and RNG taketh away is what the answer is, because I don't really feel like... I feel like I deserve to hit some of those other shots a lot more than I deserve to hit that one. But yeah, you can see here I was like, all right, it's time to drive in, because I haven't taken any damage, but I haven't needed to. I've got at least 3,600 damage from just sitting in that spot, so why drive in? But yeah, so that's that game. We'll get to the next one. Alright, next game is on Murovanka, and we are also playing with that same loadout with the rammer, the pink turbo, and the pink improved aiming. And this is a tier 9 game. There's no tier 10s, no artillery. Again, I've got kind of lucky this morning playing this tank a little bit, and I didn't have any artillery in my games, which was really nice. Because the engine deck on this thing is like 15 millimeters thick. But you can get a taste of the mobility, right? I'm bouncing off the rev limiter here at 43, 44, 45, because that's what my turbo will let me do. And so it's hard to describe. I wouldn't call it a fast tank, but here I am keeping up with the T-44, which is also not a slow tank. So maybe I'm not giving this thing enough credit, frankly. I don't know. But it just throws shells down range. It just feels meaty. It feels like impactful to hit for this much damage. And again, maybe I'm 466. It just and it sounds. I like the sound of the gun. That's very superficial. Doesn't really matter, but I just like the sound of the gun. It just sounds like a. Anyways, so maybe I'm not giving this tank enough credit because I wanted to say it's not a fast tank, but here I am keeping up with the T-44. So maybe it is a pretty fast tank. Here we are. You're getting it live. I'm waiting for this Carnarvon to peek over the ridge so I can do something to him. And right now, I don't want to play in the front because although these are all tier 8s in front of me, there's tank destroyers in the back. This has a really good gun, so let's just sit back here and not get, I don't want somebody to dive in on me because, ooh, look, it's the new tank. But our team is playing very badly, right? You got the guys on the 1-2-3 line that are not doing a lot. You got a T-34 that's wasting his tank, and an IS-3 that's sitting in the middle wasting his tank. And so right now, this right side looks really bad, right? The CS-59 is the only thing keeping back like 6 tanks, and I know they're going to dump in on him. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for them to do that and hopefully dissuade them. And we'll wait for it. But I'm already thinking we need to go. We need to run. And just by doing that, I was kind of like, all right, well, that's probably dissuaded them enough. They know that there are people back here. So maybe we can hold this. Depends on how they play, right? It's a pub game. But this isn't looking good. And I probably, in hindsight, the guard ran in. I wasn't paying attention. There's a guard running in front, and I'm totally missing it. I was target fixated on the T-44. 571 hits hard. Feels good, man. But they're getting very aggressive on the CS-59, and he's the only thing stopping anything. That was just a bad shot. I aimed a little too high into the right, and as soon as that CS-59 dies, I know it's game over. It's time to leave, time to get out of here, because there's nothing stopping the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks that were spotted over here from my face. And the Waffentrager also made a kill on one of our guys, and so he's also somewhere on the 8-9 line. So it's time to skedaddle. And this is part of the reason I'm going to show this replay, is that you can see, like, I'm fast enough. You can see it kind of sluggish up the hill, right? Look at this. I'm hoping very hard that I assume that Carnarvon was going to spot me, and he apparently does not. I'm still spotted, and I'm like, all right, do I post up and shoot? I know that if I stopped there and turned around and shot somebody, maybe I'd have a shot, but I definitely would get spotted after I shot, and I would not have time to turn around and continue to drive down this line. So I would basically instantly die. So I was like, nope, that Canunan is dead. He probably should have fallen back too. But there's nothing we can do about this, right? It's 9-15, 9-14. This looks bad. This team is bad. They don't want to win the game, and that's fine. But we're just trying to get as much damage out of this as we can, and just you can see the mobility. I am actually able to scurry away and try to post up here. There's just too many buildings, in the way. Oh, and he sits, and I don't have time to sit. I need to get in a position so that if they do come down the red line, then I can see them or I can support. But this is just probably, it's 7-14. We are going to lose this game. So I'm trying to get myself in a position where I can maximize the damage and the impact on the game, because you just never know. But also, I don't know. You just want to get more damage. Only got 2,000, but mainly the reason I wanted to show this replay is you could see the speed with which I could relocate. I got in this position just about the same time as the T-44, and I scurried all the way across the map, just barely in time to not get spotted and ganked. And oh my God, come on. We're going to wait. That Carnarvon does a thing. Oh my God. All right. That's kind of on me. That was not a great shot. And this is kind of annoying. So there's a side of a TS5. And now he's in cover. And if I hadn't taken that bad shot on the Carnarvon, I would have had a side shot on the TS5. So that's on me. And we're just back. This is just a crapshoot. I probably should, with the benefit of hindsight, should have been back in the bowl a little more here. But again, they're just going to drive in. This is that stage of the game. And I'm going to shoot the guy who's closest so I can make sure to get a shot in. 464. Somehow not spotted for that. I'll take it. We're going to see if we can get one more in. We're just going to, can I get one more shot in? Yes. All right. Can I get one more shot in? Uh-oh. This is a problem. And I did bounce one from the Carnarvon because he was at a weird angle, but nobody else. And that was just a bad shot. That was a bad shot by me. I was just trying to shoot whatever's in front of me before I died. But you can see I bounced exactly one round. And that was just probably because it was a weird angle from the Carnarvon. So tough to bounce things in this game, in this tank. So. All right, so the end plates for that Mines game, I had 4 kills, 4,000 damage. That ended up, that blind shot on the Maushan was about 400. And about 454 spotting damage. That was an ace tanker. Which again, I think that's just low because this tank hasn't been released. And you can see there was only 1190 base XP. I have a feeling that this would have not been an ace tanker after release, but here we are. Um, and as you can see there, we did not take any damage, so no auto repair of the vehicle, and I had a platoon bonus and a mission thing, so that was 40,000 credits. I shot some gold, and so because of that, I don't think I would have made any money if not for my missions. I don't know that I needed to shoot the gold that I did, but the gold rounds are so good that why would you not? So there's that one. We'll get to the next one. All right, so the Murovanka game, we had almost 3,000 damage, 2,991 damage. We blocked one shot and we tracked somebody for 262. And that got us just a like 281 base XP. Not a solid game, but you could see that was high damage for the team. I will say having that high damage definitely, it just adds up quickly. It feels good. But also this is the other bad news, right? You can see I didn't have the consumables in advance, and I had to pay for some ammo and stuff, so I only made about 5 grand, 5,000 credits in that game. So I'm not sure if this is a trend or if this is just like I haven't played enough games to really be able to tell, but it seems as though the ammo for this might be expensive enough. Like I'm not sure that you're going to make a lot of money on this thing. It doesn't seem to be making me a lot of credits. So anyways, that's just something to be considering. So anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. All right.